Hello, everybody. This is I want to do something a little different with my movie reviews now. I want to actually give you a legit review. I don't want to just write a sentence saying, "Oh, it was good," or "Oh, yeah, the action was great," or whatever. I actually want to give you a legit review. So this is my first time doing this. It might not be perfect. Hopefully they'll get better. I'm pretty sure they'll get better. Let me just adjust it myself here. So, I just got done seeing Pacific Rim. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about going into this movie. I was expecting, my original opinion when I saw the trailer for this movie was like, looks nice, it looks like a good movie. It looks like it could, have some really good action scenes and, stuff like that, good visuals. I sort of got that with this, but at the same time, it was actually really, really good. I thought this was great. This is probably up there with, like, The Avengers. It's pretty good, in terms of action and stuff like that, but I am going to compare it a little bit to The Avengers because, again, I think this movie, I don't think it copied, but it sort of did what The Avengers did, pretty much giving us a pretty basic story, which, I'll go over right now. Pretty much what we got is we have aliens from another planet, well, not really from another planet, but from another dimension, actually. That's pretty cool. They break through a crack in the earth, and they start kind of going through Earth. They start kind of invading the world, pretty much. So what the people decide to do is they decide to build these machines where it's pretty much two people and they're controlling this giant robot and they start fighting. And both of them use both of their sort of, I guess they're brain waves. They sort of connect together, and that, I think, gives energy to the machine. I don't know. But, but to get away from what I'm trying to say is actually pretty much, it's just robots fighting with aliens, and what they have to do is they actually have to, later on in the film, the part of the big climax is they have to go and they have to destroy the portal, because again, they're coming through the center of the earth and it's a giant portal. So, okay, so like I said earlier, again, this is it's sort of like The Avengers, where it's pretty much a basic story, for the most part, but again has really good action, really good visuals. And another thing that I was very surprised about with this movie, and I was so happy I got this, I was finally like, yippee, was I thought these characters were really good. Yeah, these characters were very fun, they were very entertaining, they came off as there were some that came off as stereotypes. Well, let's talk about it in order of importance. You got your main character, who is this sort of scarred veteran, not literally, but he's sort of, he's kind of tortured. Again, there was an incident with this robot where his brother, it's in the first half of the movie, he dies. The brother dies pretty much. And this character has to sort of deal with that, and he actually quits the organization. I think they're called like the Jaggers or something like that. They're the robots, and so yeah, he's a scarred character. He's not particularly interesting, which does kind of suck because again, he's your main character. He's the guy you're supposed to kind of connect with in a way, but I mean, again, he's not really supposed to be that interesting. He's sort of supposed to be the vehicle. He is sort of the vehicle for the main female character, who, I'm just going to say this right now, is probably the best female character in a movie. I up there with Black Widow in The Avengers. Such a great character. She has a dark backstory. She has this dark backstory. She's, well, not dark, but I mean, she has a, sort of, rough backstory. but again, she's not weak. She's not, you know, a weak character. She's actually fighting with these guys. She's up there. She's in the machine. They're fighting, you know, pow wow, you know, stuff like that, going crazy. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. This is on my laptop, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, so you got that. She's just a great female character. I loved her. Again, the acting is great. So beautiful too. I thought, you know, very, very nice looking. So again, you got that. The general I thought was actually a really cool character. I liked his voice. That's specifically, I liked his voice. But again, there were a lot of other characters in the movie too. Again, and they were entertaining. But again, you could make the argument that they are sort of stereotyped and kind of annoying. You know, like there are these two characters that are sort of comic relief. They're both sort of scientists. One's Australian Cambridge kind of character, and the other is just sort of this guy. He's just a nerd, pretty much. But I think the movie understands that they are kind of in that category where they are kind of a little bit annoying, and they do a good job at kind of taking the focus off of them for a little bit. You know, they don't like emphasize these are the characters you're supposed to go crazy for, but you know, they're good, you know, they're fun. Here's this one character I really liked, but I'm just gonna say this: something happened to him. I'm not gonna spoil it, but something happened to him, and I kind of got off at the edge of my seat. I was like, no, why? You know, but yeah, so I guess it's pointless to talk about it because, again, this is, you know, everybody's gonna go, you know, this is probably the big thing that everybody's gonna praise this movie for. Again, is the action and the visuals. They're unbelievable. I mean, like, these are such good action scenes, and and again, visually, it's amazing too. I actually, I really wanted to. I had a few friends who actually saw this in 3D, and they loved it in 3D, so it worked. But yeah, so you got that, and the action again. The one thing I really liked about the action was, you know, the first action scene in the movie is a really good action scene, and it's a big action scene. That's the thing. These action scenes are huge. These are huge-ass action scenes, and they're very, you know, and they start off big, and it just keeps getting bigger throughout the entire movie. That is what I freaking loved about this. You know, and there was actually one point in the movie where I was sitting there, and it was like around the middle of the movie, and I'm saying to myself, and you know, I turned to the guy who I was sitting next to, and I was like, "Hey, this is a really good climax." You know, because it felt like, you know, because again, the climax is usually the big point in the movie where it's huge and everything. And the guy turns, and the friend who was sitting next to me said, "Oh, it's not over yet." It's like, what? There's more? Yes! You know, I got excited. I was pumped for this movie. I like this. I really got into this movie. But yeah, again, you know, just love the action, love the visuals. The characters, again, were really good. In terms of problems, I guess, honestly, I think they're nitpicks. And it's not even that. Some of the nitpicks, I don't even remember. I don't know. It just, I got into this movie so much that I actually, you know, if there was any nitpicks, I probably wouldn't have cared, and I just got into it anyway. But yeah, so I'm not really going to go over that, which is weird because I would probably do that in another review. So, yeah, I'm not really going to go over problems with this movie. I liked it. I really liked this movie. So let's go over who I think this movie would be recommended for. Again, if you are a huge action fan, obviously you're gonna like this. You're gonna love this movie to death. You're gonna love this. And also, again, if you're a big character person, again, you know, if you want more in an action movie aside from just, you know, pretty action, pretty visuals, I think you're going to get a lot out of this too. Again, you're going to get good characters too. And again, I don't really go much into the story, you know, and stuff like that, the little details, because again, you know what? It's an action movie. You know, probably half the people aren't even going to be listening to, you know, all the scientific-y stuff, which, you know, is interesting in some ways. Again, you know, you know, there's just some interesting stuff in there, you know, again, like the whole idea with the whole, you know, their brainwaves kind of connecting to fuel the machine, you know, and to, you know, for them to fight. Some of the technology in the suit was actually pretty cool. I guess I will go over one problem that I had with the movie. And again, I felt like at times it was trying too hard to be a 3D movie, which again, it is sort of advertised as being in 3D, but I have that problem with movies, because again, I don't like 3D. I'm just going to say that right now. I think at times it could work, but it's more of just like a special, it should be more for like a special event. It shouldn't be like a regular thing, in my opinion. But again, I hear this movie is great in 3D, so I probably would be proven wrong. But yeah, so I had a very similar problem with Oz, the Great and Powerful, where, you know, I felt like the 3D was, but with that it had more of the motion issue, and again, this movie had a little bit of that too. But I mean, especially the sword. There's this sword that comes out of the machine, which is freaking awesome. But when it shoots out, it's like it's shooting out in the screen. Yeah, I'm trying to show off my special effects, but whatever. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, but yeah, I really like this movie. And again, if you are a big action fan, very big visual fan, you are going to love this movie. And if you want character to it, you know, you're gonna get some very fun characters, fun, enjoyable characters to it. So I guess that's pretty much it. I want to do these more often now. So whenever I do a movie now, whenever I see a movie, I'm probably just going to do kind of a review. This review's been like 12 minutes long. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and talk to you later.